Can you tell us a bit what is Grail Capital, and how can people, let's say, I'm interested in collecting or investing. What's the goal of Grail Capital, and how can people, participate?
I will start with a why, and the why, you always start with the why, the manifesto, the mission and the mission statement, basically, of Grail Capital. I won't read it today because it's a relatively long manifesto. It can be found on our website. So it's grailcapxyz/manifesto. And I will provide you with the link afterwards so that it can be shared for those who are listening to this podcast. But basically, the reason why we founded Grail Capital is because we believe that the future of art and culture will go digital, and we want to actually facilitate and enable it in a way, not the only one, but be part of it somehow, and to make it easy, profitable, and safe for more collector and investor to participate in the digital art market. But again, we are an investment fund, so we basically collect money from professional and qualified investors only. So we don't collect money from retail investors, and we are not aiming at doing that. Only qualified and professional investors who
Hmm.
can afford a certain level of risk, a certain level of investment, but also in case the investment doesn't go as well as expected, or doesn't do a return as fast as expected, that won't be bothered by that, because they are relatively wealthy, and for them, the kind of money they want to put in this kind of strategy will not miss them, and it won't damage their
Yeah.
personal situation. So we are professional investment firm only, and we only target professional investors.
Hmm.
But again, I would say that we are doing three things because our mission is way beyond just being an investment fund. We really want to contribute to onboard and enabling to welcome, the next 100K, the next million collectors. And we are doing that by providing a lot of insight, a lot of communication, and a lot of education to the market. So we are basically doing three things: what we would call education, which is like creating content, publishing a lot of reports, participating to conferences and panels to talk about the market, and also getting interviewed and podcasts like this one. The second one is more the advisory part. So basically, we are advising a couple of corporations or private banks or family offices regarding their digital art collections. So we get a kind of mandate, okay, and they say, okay, we want to start a collection of digital art. Where we should start? With this kind of budget, what should we collect? And we basically, for an
Okay.
advisory fee, we provide them with a kind of indicative acquisition collecting list that they will execute themselves, or that they might have executed by a third party that we might be in position to introduce them to, like a broker, like a private bank, like a kind of technical partner that is able to do that. And the last part is properly the investment kind of arm that we have at Grail Capital, that is designing investment vehicle, basically, who are there to kind of provide our investors with a specific exposure to a certain part of the digital art market on blockchains with dedicated strategy. And when I mean digital
Mm.
specific strategy, it can be, say, okay, let's go for the blue chips of digital art on blockchains, or let's focus more on the
Mhm.
AI art, or the generative art, or the rising stars, or any kind of strategies. And we basically create investment vehicle based on one of strategy, and then we collect the money from investors. We execute on the strategy, and we collect the artworks that relate to the strategy that we design, and then we buy and hold, basically. So we don't trade at all. We are only a kind of passive collector, I would say. Passive in the sense that we're not
Mhm.
actively trading, but we might be more active on the behind the curtain, and we might be doing a lot of communication about the collection, about the artworks, and eventually we might do a little bit of lending and borrowing of the artworks, so that we create a bit of yield for our investors in the meantime.